friends, moving on to the chapter 1, which is dealing with the topics chemical reactions and chemical equations. So let's move on to the first topic of this chapter, that is chemical reactions. So what do you mean by chemical reactions in just first sense? Let me tell you. If you had a headache, then what you will do suddenly? You will take some medicines or you will put some kind of balms and so on. So if you take some medicines inside our body, after some time you feel better for it. So why this is happening? You know, all these kinds because of some kind of chemical reactions happening in our body. Let's take another example. That means if we keep some food items on the table for 30 or 40 days and so on, what will you observe after that, such days? You know, the food get rotten. It's all because of the chemical reactions that is happening. And take a battery in your hand and you get some kind of voltage from it, right? So how this is produced? Inside the battery there happens some kind of oxidation process. These kinds of processes are some kind of chemical reactions happening. A digestive system, you have heard about it in biology classes and so on. So itself is a chemical system. That means there happens a kind of chemical reactions, so on and on. The carbohydrates, the amino acids, the fat, the proteins and so on that we get from the food items, it undergoes some kind of chemical reactions and we get energy for it. So these all kinds are the examples, or these all kinds are the overview about chemical reactions in our daily life. So in these chemical reactions, what you can observe in a common criteria, let me tell you, that was the change in state is happening, change in color is happening, evolution of gas is happening, change in temperature is happening. So these are the 4 signs that happens when a chemical reaction occurs to a substance. So the first one is the change in color. Second one is the change in state. Third one is the evolution of gas. And the fourth one is the change in temperature and so on. So first, let me tell you, change in color. Have you seen such kind of chemical reaction that changes the color of a substance in your daily life and all? Of course, you can see it. Ripening of fruits is an example of it. So the fruits may turn the color, change from a greenish color to red, a pale yellow color and so on. Why this is happening? Because of the chemical reaction. The chlorophyll is the substance which is giving green color to the fruits, right? And the plants also. This chlorophyll is breaking down to such chemical compounds. Then that is the main reason for giving the red and pale yellow color to the fruits when it gets ripened. Evolution of gas. You take some camphor in some substance or watch glass and something, burn it out. What will happen? It will burn into gas. You know, the solid state as a camphor is burned into gas state. You know, the change from the solid to gas has happened, right? So the gases evolved from the chemical reaction happened to the camphor when it is supposed to heat. Then change in state, as I told you, simply consider a candle and lighten it up. This candle after some time will come to closer, smaller, smaller, smaller and on. Why? Because according to the heat reaction that is happening to the solid candle, it is melted to smaller size. This is the example for changing state chemical reaction. So these are overall concept giving you what is a chemical reaction and what are the signs that is happening when a reaction happens to a substance.